Welcome to Effective Thinking Through Mathematics. The goal of this course is to help you to become more successful in your life. And our method for making you more successful is to enable you to become a better thinker, a more effective thinker. That is, someone who is more creative, can come up with creative ideas to difficult challenges, and who's more insightful, can see the world with more clarity and nuance. Our strategy for doing this is to first of all describe some actual strategies of thinking that you can personally learn and employ in everything that you do in everyday life or in your professional life. So what we have done over the years of decades of teaching is to isolate strategies that can be taught and can be learned. These strategies, by the way, are not strategies by which you can do things with great efficiency. I don't believe in efficiency in education. If you want to really learn, the goal is to change yourself, to become a different person. And I don't know of any really extremely efficient way to accomplish that. If you really want to change and become a better thinker and more successful, you need to develop habits of thought over time and through exertion. So part of this course is going to be to tell you what these strategies of thinking are, and then give you the kinds of challenges and work that will allow you to become that better thinker. So let me start by explaining what the 5 elements of effective thinking are. And let me say that this whole course is based on 2 books that my co-author Edward Berger and I have written. One of them is called The Heart of Mathematics, An Invitation to Effective Thinking. So it's a book that allows you to learn effective thinking through mathematics. And that really is the goal of this course. The second book is called The 5 Elements of Effective Thinking. And this little book really isolates 5 strategies that you can employ to make yourself a better thinker. So I'm going to start today by just giving you a brief summary of those 5 elements so that you get some sense of what I'm talking about. One of the elements is to understand deeply. In particular, to understand simple things deeply. This is a strategy by which you can look at basic ideas in your life, and by turning your attention to them and learning them with far greater precision, nuance, and depth, it will inform the most advanced work that you do. The second element of effective thinking is to make mistakes. This is a counterintuitive idea that making mistakes leads to success. Fail to succeed. A mistake is directive. It points you in the right direction. There is no creative work that was ever created except on the ash heap of failed attempts. The key is to learn from those failures and then to succeed. The third element of effective thinking is to raise questions. To get in the habit of constantly saying, what's missing? Could this be extended? Is there more to be seen here? Raising those questions can have a profound, energizing effect on your inner life. One of the basic questions is, what is the real question? And in the case of education, the real question is transforming yourself to become a better thinker. So the goal of this class is the goal of educating yourself. It is to make yourself actually a different person. The fourth element of effective thinking is to follow the flow of ideas. Every single idea came from something simpler, came from something different, and evolved into what it is today, and will continue to evolve and change in the future. And having in your own mind that perspective of where you are in your own life, or where every concept is that you're learning, as something that came from something before and is going to continue in the future, that perspective helps to put knowledge into a context that makes it much more understandable. And the fifth element of effective thinking is change. That is the goal of this course, to actually become a different person, a person who is more able to think effectively. Those are the synopsis of the strategies of thinking that will be illustrated in every one of the weeks to come.